Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of How to Make Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in Scratch. In today's episode we're going to be adding input into the office so we can turn on the vent lights and we can turn on the main hallway light. Start off with, we're going to make it so we can use the main hallway light. To do this we're going to go into the costumes of the office sprite and we're going to upload the office lights menu, the office, I think it's hallway, yeah, in the hallway, the office hallway, and then down, put in 123.png, and I'm going to call this sprite 010 because the middle light is on. Okay, so what we're going to do with this, we're going to have put this in a new, when I receive start game, I think. So when I receive start game, we will have a if condition saying if the space key is pressed. So if, well, first of all, forever, if else key space, or no, not mouse down, key space is pressed, we want to broadcast a new message calling it hallway light. We can do that later actually. That's not needed straight away. We can switch costume to 010, just like that, and then we can do a wait until not key space is pressed, just like that. And then after that we'd switch costume to 000. So that should be that simple as far as I'm concerned. As you can see now, we can interact with the hallway by, if we press spacebar, and we can turn the light on. And this else condition here, the reason we're using an else is just for later on when if we have no power, we can't use the hallway light, and we're going to put that in the else, and that's just for later. So now we have input for the main light of the office. We are going to have our buttons on both sides of the office to interact with the vent lights. To do this, we're going to make a new sprite. I'm going to call this one left button. I'm going to upload a costume in the office lights and menu, the office, vents, okay, not the vents, inside, no, hallway, no, wouldn't be a hallway, office utilities, there we go. So we need 90 and 91, and we open these up, here we go. So both of these, we want to scale the left button to size of 50%, just like that. And I'm also going to change the name to 00, and I'm going to call this one 01. Nice. Okay, in the code, first of all, when flag clicked, switch costume to 00, and we're also going to hide this sprite, just like that. Now, when I receive start game, we need to show. We also need to make sure this is in the front layer, so it's in front of the office. And we're going to have a new forever. We're going to make a forever loop. And we're going to set the size of the variable of the thing to 50% forever. And also a go to XY. Change the Y to -19. In the X, we need a minus operator. In the right side of the minus operator, we need to put office X, and in the left side of the minus operator, we put -300. Just like that. And then underneath that, we need an if else, and then we need to put a less than sign in there. And then in the right side, we put -60, and then if office X is less than -60, we hide, and then else we show. So now we should have a button on the left side which is just kind of following around against the wall. switch these around, actually show and hide. There we go. So now we have our left button here. Make sure the show's in the top in the if and the hide's in the else, just like that. So as you can see, now we have a button there, which is working good. So now that we have the button, then we need to be able to interact with the button as well. We want a switch costume here. We want to switch costume in the forever to left button. So we need to make a new variable, actually, calling it left button for this sprite only. We're forever switching costume to left button. And then when the game stops, we want to set left button to 0, 0. And then when we receive start game, we want to add a little bit of wait time. Wait, 0.05 seconds. Show. We do not actually need that show, do we? Yeah. Okay, so forever. We need an if. If we are touching the mouse pointer. And then another if. If mouse down. And then we need an if else. An equal sign, and then we need a letter 2 of, and then we put letter 2 of left button is equal to 1, just like that. And then we need a wait until not mouse down. And then we need to set the left button variable, set left button to join letter 1 of left button, and then instead of banana we do 0, just like that. And then we need to make a new broadcast calling it left light off, just like that. And then the else, we can duplicate this, put it in here, set left button to join letter 1 of left button 1, and then broadcast left light, just like that. And now we should have input for the light. Currently it should just switch color to like a green, I'm pretty sure. It should just switch costume whenever we click it now. As you can see, that is what it's doing. But we have no input for the actual office just yet. So to do this, in the office sprite, we need to upload a new costume. In the office nights menu, the office events, we need to look for 166, and we can also get 168 in there as well. 166, I'm going to put it in the second slot, and we'll call it 100, and the 168, we'll put in the third, and call it 001. Okay, so back in the office now, we need to get some receivers for when the lights are turned on. Get some free space over here. When I receive left light off, we switch costume to 0, 0, 0. So it's pretty simple. So if left light off, when I receive left light off, we switch costume to 0, 0, 0, and when we receive left light, we switch costume to 100. Just like that. And we're going to have some ifs in the left light one a bit later on, just in case we have no power. So now when we hit play, now when we hit the button, we should get some input, and we will see it'll visually change now. It'll turn on the vent. As you can see, we are now able to interact with the vent, which is exactly what we need. So now we can just, to do the right button, we just duplicate this left button. I'm going to rename it to right button, and then there's a few things we have to change in here. Pretty much the exact same as before, except this time we need some new costumes for this, so we can just delete these costumes, upload a new one, the office nuts and menu, office utilities, and we need 93 and 98. I'm gonna call 90. I'm gonna call this one at the top 0, 0, 0, and then this one 0, 1. Okay, so all of this is good. We need a new variable. We can delete the left button variable from here. Not needed in this sprite. It's only needed in this sprite. And in the right button sprite, we need to make a new variable calling it right button. Oops. We need to make a right button for this sprite only. And in the switch costume, we're going to put right button in there. And in the start game, we need to, up here in the wait, we need to set right button to 0, 0. And letter 2 of right button is 1. Set right button to join. Letter 1 of right button, and then 0. And we change the broadcast left light off to right light off. And then we can duplicate this. Let's delete this broadcast left light and put it in the else, and put that in the else here. And if letter 1 of right button is equal to 1, broadcast right light, just like so. And that should be looking good. We also need to change the position of it, so instead of -300 here, we need it to be 300. And if it's, we want it to be, change this to a greater than sign, and then put 34 in there. Just like so, that looks good. So now if we hit play, hopefully we do have input for the right button now. It should be working. Oh yes, because we haven't set up the receivers in the office yet. So let's duplicate left light off and do right light off. And then let's duplicate left light and change it to right light and make it switch costume to 001. Now it should work. As you can see, we are getting input from this, which is good. Just exactly what we need. So if we go full screen here for a second, as you can see, we're able to have both of these light costumes on at the same time, which isn't like, we don't really want that to happen. So in the left button sprite, we need to, underneath this else, we need to have a new if statement saying if, okay, so we're actually, this is my fault here, I don't know if this is available without Scratch add-ons, but we're going to make a new variable in the left button, calling it left button for all sprites, and this time right click left button and swap variables and sprite, the left button for this sprite only, swap variables and sprite, and we're going to type left button. So now everything, if you're able to do that, everything should have changed to left button, but just be sure to make sure that it's for all sprites, which is my fault, and same with the right button. Yeah, so once you've done that, in the right button sprite, I'm going to do if, so if the equals, so put in the right side 1, and then letter 2 of right button equals 1, set left button to join, letter 1 of left button to 0, and then in the left button sprite you want an if in the same spot, equals 1, letter 2 of right button equals 1, set right button to join, letter 1 of right button, and change this to a 0. Perfect. So now if we hit the play, everything's been set up correctly, which it should, we should no longer be able to turn on 2 lights at once. As you can see, that is now working, which is perfect. So that's it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to start the cameras and opening the cameras and animations and stuff like that, which is all good. So if you have enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you do not want to miss out on episode 4. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.